Okay, Chapter 4, Lesson 7, Inverse of Linear Functions. To find the inverse of a set of ordered pairs, a table or a graph, all we have to do is switch the x and y terms. So find the inverse of each relation here. So if originally it starts as -2, 1, -5, 0, -8, -1, -11, 2, all we do is switch it to become 1, -2, 0, -5, -1, -8, and 2, -11. On 5 and 6 with the graph, all we have to do is pick a couple of points. So I'm going to pick -6, 0, and 0, +6. And then go ahead and switch them. So instead of -6, 0, I'm going to do 0, -6. And instead of 0, 6, I'm going to do 6, 0. Okay, and for number 6 here, I just need to pick a couple points. So I'm going to pick 6, 0, and 0, 6. And so when I switch them, I'm left with 0, 6, and 6, 0. So the inverse of this line is graphed on top of itself. If you're given the equation of a function and you need to find the inverse, what you're going to do is first switch the x and y terms and then solve for y. Then in order to be able to tell between the difference of the actual function and the inverse function, what you use is a little -1 up top of the f of x so that you know which one was the original and which one is the new function. So for number 8 here, it wants me to find the inverse of the function, and it starts as f of x, or we know that that's the same as y equals 6/5 times x minus 3. So in order to find the inverse, the first thing I'm going to do is switch the x and the y. So instead of y equals 6/5 x, I'm going to do x equals 6/5 y minus 3. Solve for y. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So that would give me x plus 3 equals 6/5 y. And divide everything by 6/5, which would give me an inverse function. So I do f of x to the -1 power equals 1 divided by 6/5 in my calculator is 5/6x. And 3 divided by 6/5 is 5/2. On number 2, my original is y equals 4x plus 2. So I'm going to change that to x equals 4y plus 2 all over 3. First thing is times both sides by 3. Subtract 2 to both sides. And divide everything by 4. So f of x to the -1 power is 3/4 x minus 1/2. Number 12 here, switch this into y equals and then rewrite it as x equals -5 times -y minus 6. Distribute, which would give me positive 5y plus 30. Subtract the 30, which would give me x minus 30 equals 5y. Divide everything by 5. So my f of x to the -1 is 1/5 x minus 6. Jenny is running in a charity event. One donor is paying an initial amount of $20 plus an extra $5 for every mile that Jenny runs. Write a function d of x to represent this. So the donation is $5 for every mile, so that's 5x, plus a one-time donation of $20. Part B, find the inverse. So I'm going to change this to y and then switch it to x equals 5y plus 20. Subtract 20 to both sides. Divide everything by 5. So d to the negative 1 power of x equals 1/5 x minus 20. What do x and d to the negative 1 of x represent in the context of the inverse function? So originally x was every mile and d of x was the total money. So if I'm switching those, now x will be the total money and d of x would be her miles because we switched them.